Hello again, and welcome to City Currents, a dialogue about Durango where you're invited to join in the conversation. Our guest this week is Cathy Metz, Durango Parks and Recreation Director. Good morning, Cathy.
Good morning, Jose.
How are you doing?
Great.
Good. Well, this got to be a bittersweet week for you. I know retirement is coming up here at the end of the week,
Yes.
But 25 years of service have done an amazing impact in the Durango community. When you look back at it, kind of looking at this week and everything that you've done, what's one of the most, or maybe the two most impactful memories you have being here in Durango for 25 years?
I think the community engagement has been the most impactful. We worked with the community and they support Parks and Recreation and are very engaged in the public processes that we have. And I think the most important thing is that the voters have approved dedicated funding for Parks and Recreation that's allowed us to accomplish great things over the last 25 years.
Gotcha. And speaking of community engagement, we're getting a little bit right now about e-bikes.
Yes.
And kind of where they're allowed to be, where they're not allowed to be, maybe some of the reasons that they're not allowed to be on some of the trails that we have here. Would you mind just providing a little bit of a background on e-bikes and kind of talking a little bit about that process, how it's gone through, how we have engaged the community,
Yes.
how we have taken it to the boards, and kind of the decisions that have been made?
Yes, well, we started the e-bike discussion several years ago, primarily about people wanting to ride their e-bikes on the Animas River Trail. And so we did a study for about a year and allowed e-bikes on a trial basis for community engagement to see how that would work out. And it worked out fine, and so we did change the code of ordinance and allow e-bikes on the hard surface trails. That would be the Animas River Trail, Smart 160 Trail, Gigline Gulch Trail, Florida Road Trail. So the hard surface trails in town, they are currently allowed. And then currently we are engaged in another public process that involves e-bikes on the natural surface trails. And so we are conducting a trial. It lasts through November 30th of this year, and it's at Twin Buttes open space. There's about 10 miles of natural surface trails in Twin Buttes, and so people can take their electric mountain bikes and ride the trails there. So as part of this survey, we're accepting public comments, post those public comments on the city website, as well as we share those comments with our advisory boards periodically as they want to review the process. We're doing a survey and a trail intercept survey and asking people their experiences in Twin Buttes with the interaction between e-bikes and other bikes or other users of the trail system that are walking.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Cathy, for letting us know. Definitely good information. We do have a lot of what I call engaged electric bikes users out there that are really wanting to use those bikes everywhere they can. So we want to make sure that we know where they're allowed to and where they're not. So I appreciate you giving that information. So kind of looking at projects, you've done a lot of projects, a substantial amount. Any of those projects kind of hold special near and dear to your heart when you look back?
Well, over the last 25 years with our dedicated funding and grants, we've invested over $100 million in parks and recreation assets in the city. And I guess it started in 1999 with the development of the Durango Community Recreation Center, which opened to the public in 2002. And then our most recent accomplishment was purchasing the very first phase of Durango Mesa Park. And so I think it's been an interesting dialogue, but what set the foundation for that is the master plan for the Parks and Recreation Department and the level of community engagement that we had in developing that master plan and then making sure we implemented it.
So 25 years in Durango. I think when you look at local government careers, that's very rare these days. Usually people come to a city, then they want to go to another city and kind of advancing their career as they go through. And you came from another community in Colorado.
Yes.
Here. So talk to me a little bit about what made Durango special and kind of what your thoughts were to make that commitment here for 25 years.
Well, when I was a young Parks and Recreation professional, I was formerly a Parks and Recreation director in another small community in Colorado before I came here. And this was the community that I always wanted to come to and be the director. I was familiar with Durango. I had been here for conferences and other activities like that and fell in love with it and decided that this was a place that I was meant to be. And I was very fortunate and honored to serve in this capacity the last 25 years.
Absolutely. So what's on the future horizon? You know, I know we've talked a bit, so I know some of the answers. But for those that are at home that are looking into what is Cathy looking to do after retirement? Where are you going to stay in Durango?
Yes.
And kind of how do you continue to be involved?
Right. Well, I will stay in Durango. My husband and I, we've been married 43 years. And,
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we will be staying in Durango. This is our home, and I will stay engaged with the community just because I care deeply about Durango. And I'll stay involved in a variety of ways, plus having a lot of fun in our current Parks and Recreation assets.
For sure. So one of the questions I ask everyone who comes in, and just to kind of get to know them a little bit better, personal music choice. So when you're listening to music, what is your kind of go-to music that you like to listen to?
You know, we listen a lot to XM, and so I like to rove around a lot of different stations.
Okay.
So I was listening to country coming here,
All right.
just because you can really understand the lyrics and sing along, and it's fun.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, Cathy, thank you very much. First and foremost, on behalf of the organization, for your service to the community. It's been amazing getting to work with you. I've learned a lot in the short time I've gotten to work with you. It is bittersweet. I wish it could have been a little bit longer, but I know retirement is a great thing also, and being able to enjoy, but really excited to still have you in the community, still be out there to reach out to you. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for your service. Really appreciate you taking time on your last week to come on the show, and then providing some information on the e-bike situation that we have here. So thank you very much, Cathy. And is there anything that you'd like to say to close out?
No, I just have appreciated working with you as well, Jose, and think that you've come in and done a wonderful job as a new city manager, and setting the course for a strong future for Durango.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much, Cathy.
You're welcome.
This is a program where we want your input and questions, which you can call our special hotline at 970-375-5091, or send us an email at citycurrents@durangogov.org. I'll be back next month with another edition of City Currents. Thank you for watching.